Hi everyone, it's Natalie from Let's Practice English. Today we are moving on to part 5 of the 100 of the most difficult words to pronounce in English. So let's get started with the first one. So the first word we have is begrime. Now, begrime, quite an advanced word, so of course it's difficult to pronounce, is difficult to pronounce because of the beginning of the word. So sometimes when you see B, you might think it's pronounced like begrime, but actually it's pronounced like begrime. And begrime means when something is so blackened with dirt. So let me give you an example sentence. In the 1900s, London was begrime with lots of soot and dirt. On to the next one, we have height and weight. Now, of course, these words are spelt in a very similar way, but they do have differences when we pronounce them. So if you listen to the first one again, it's height. And the second one, weight. So we have two different vowel sounds at the beginning of the words. So if you listen again to that beginning, it's high, and then the other one, way. So that's the difference between these two words. Let me give you some example sentences. We could say, my brother is at the height of 1.80 meters. And for weight, we could say, my sister has always been underweight. On to the next one, we have cough. Now, I'm sure you guys know what cough is. It's just when you have a sore throat and you start coughing like that. And cough is difficult to pronounce because of the vowels in the beginning, the O and the U, because in English, as you guys know, we pronounce things differently all the time. So if you just listen again to the pronunciation, it's cough. So actually at the end, it's like we have two F sounds. And let me give you an example sentence. We could say, I had a bad cough last week when I was ill. On to the next one, we have daughter and doctor. Now these are very similar in pronunciation, so I guess students could get easily confused with these two. But just listen again to the first one, it's daughter. And the second one, doctor. So we have a different vowel sound at the beginning. So just listen again, door, doc. So those are the differences between those two. Let me give you an example sentence. We could say, my best friend's daughter is turning 4 years old next week. And for doctor, we could say, I always visit my local doctor when I feel ill. And on to the next one, we have bear, bird, beard, and beer. So again, these words, I think we've done something very, very similar in a previous video. These words are all pronounced very similarly and they are spelt in very similar ways. So it's very easy to get confused with these words. If we go back to the first one we pronounce like bear. So the bear is the big black or brown animal that lives in the forest and loves honey. And listen to the second one, it's bird. And I'm sure you guys know what a bird is, like an eagle, a sparrow, or something like that. And the second one, beard. So this is something that men have around here. So as you can tell, it's similar to bear, but we have a D on the end, so it's pronounced beard instead. And the last one is pronounced like beer. Now beer is the alcoholic drink that you can have. So I guess bear, the animal, and beer, the drink, are the most easily confused ones out of these four. Let me give you some example sentences. For the first one, we could say there are many native black bears in North America. For the second one, the ostrich is the biggest bird in the world. For the third one, many men like to grow a beard. And for the fourth one, many countries make different flavoured beers. On to the next word, we have vocabulary. Now, vocabulary is similar to words that we have looked at in the past. With the ending, it's quite difficult to pronounce. So if you listen to the pronunciation again, it's vocabulary. But actually, if you heard at the end, it's not really pronounced like an A when we say it in a sentence. We just pronounce it like vocabulary. So it's a lurry at the end, not a larry. And let me give you an example sentence. Vocabulary is extremely important in any language learning process. On to the next one, we have colleague. Now, if you guys don't know what a colleague is, it's just someone that you work with. And this one is difficult to pronounce because of the spelling. We've got quite a few different vowels in this word. So if you just listen again, it's colleague. So actually we just have a long vowel sound at the end. And let me give you an example. You could say, I get on really well with my colleagues at work. On to the next one, we have law and low. Now, of course, these words could be easily confused because it's just one different vowel in the middle. But if you listen to the first one, it's pronounced like law. The second one, low. So the first one is an A vowel, second one, O vowel. And an example sentence could be, it's extremely important to follow the law. And for the second one, that table is extremely low. On to the next one, we have negotiation. Now, we have talked about words in previous videos that end with this T-I-O-N. So again, this is a very, very similar situation. So we don't pronounce it like tion, we pronounce it like shun at the end. So just listen again to the pronunciation. It's negotiation. So actually, as you can hear, both of those T sounds are pronounced like sh sounds. And an example sentence could be, Alan Sugar gave a great negotiation for his business. On to the next one, we have development. Now, development could be easily mispronounced because of the L-O-P. Some students might try to pronounce it like lop instead of lup. So if you listen again, it's development. And if you heard at the end, it's not meant, it's meant. And an example sentence could be, there is a large development of new housing in London. On to the next one, we have raw and row. Now, if you don't know what raw is normally used for, we use this more with meat. So when meat is uncooked completely, it's raw. And row is a type of sport that you can do along the river. So if you listen again to the pronunciation of these words, the first one is raw, the second one is row. So again, similarly to what we've spoken about before, it's just the different vowel sound in these words that are different. Let me give you an example sentence. You should never feed your animals raw chicken. And for the next one, we could say Cambridge is famous for its row team. On to the next one, we have culture. Now, culture might be difficult to pronounce because of that U at the beginning of the word. But if you listen again, it's pronounced like culture. So, and also if you heard at the end, the T-U-R-E is pronounced like a ch sound. And let me give you an example sentence. Culture is really important for everyone's heritage. On to the next one, we have Greenwich. Now, Greenwich is actually a place in London, and this could be easily mispronounced because of the W at the end of the word. So some people might think it's pronounced like greenwich, but actually we don't pronounce the W. So if you listen again, it's pronounced like Greenwich. And also it must be confusing because at the beginning of the word, it's spelt like green, but no, we just pronounce one of those E's, so it becomes Gren. And an example sentence could be, Greenwich has a famous university in London. On to the next one, we have mountain. Now, mountain, similarly to other words we've spoken about, could be difficult to pronounce because of the vowels at the beginning, because we have two vowels, O and U, but it's pronounced like mow at the beginning. and at the end is pronounced like tun. So it's almost like we have an E at the end and not an A and an I vowel. So just listen one more time to the pronunciation. It's mountain. And an example sentence could be, there are many famous mountains all over the world. On to the next one, we have realm. Now, realm would be difficult to pronounce because at the beginning it's spelled exactly the same as real, but actually we just pronounce it like it has an E in there and not an A. So if you listen again, it's realm. And if you don't know what realm means, it's just another word for a kingdom, a monarchy, or a state. And an example sentence could be, Queen Elizabeth II is the Queen to the Commonwealth realm. On to the next one, we have crocodile. Now, if you don't know what a crocodile is, it's a big sized animal or mammal that lives normally in the rivers. So you find a lot of crocodiles in Africa. And if you listen to the pronunciation, we pronounce it like croc or dial. So we have two different O sounds in the word, and at the end is pronounced a little bit differently because it sounds like we are saying dial. And an example sentence could be, there are many crocodiles in Africa. On to the next one, we have variety. Now, if you don't know what variety means, it just means that you have a number of different things available. And if you listen to the pronunciation again, it's pronounced like variety. So actually in this word, we have two schwa sounds, which are sounds. So even at the beginning, even though we have an A, it's pronounced like v. And an example sentence could be, it's the variety that makes my job so enjoyable. On to the next one, we have scissors. Now, scissors can be easily mispronounced because of the beginning of the word. So we have two consonant letters, an S and a C, but if you listen again, we don't really pronounce the C. So it's scissors. So it's almost just like we are saying the Z instead of an S sound throughout this word. And an example could be, scissors are needed to cut paper. On to the next one, we have niche. Now, I'm pretty sure that niche is a word that was taken from French, like some other words that we have in English, so that's what makes it a little bit more difficult to pronounce. So if you listen again, it's pronounced like niche. So it's almost just like we have an E vowel in the middle. And at the end, even though it's a CH, it's pronounced like sh. And if you don't know what niche means, it could mean a comfortable or suitable place in someone's life or employment. So let me give you an example sentence. He is now the head chef of his own restaurant. He feels as if he has found his niche. On to the last one for this video and series, we have congratulations. Now, congratulations is quite a basic word in English, but it is still really difficult to pronounce for most foreign learners. So if you listen again, we pronounce it like congratulations. So again, just like other words we've spoken about, at the end, it's not tions, it's shuns. And an example could be, you should always say congratulations when someone gets married. Okay guys, so that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching this series. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and please don't forget to leave us a comment down below. Thanks for watching. Bye.